over the years, we've had lots of issues with actors telling us that we're not fans of their show, that we are haters, and we don't have the right view like they do, essentially. And they wade into gender ideology wars, political views, and attach that to their work in some cases. Well, I was saying that all hope was lost. I don't think it is, because something happened yesterday and we're going to take a look at it. Hello and welcome back to Chat About It, Don't Shout About It with me, Rachel, the Queen of the Woke, as crowned by one of my haters. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, switch on the notification bells so that you know I am releasing another video. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed already. I cannot run this channel without you. Tom Felton. If you do not know who Tom Felton is, he used to play Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter film franchise. Well, he's currently in New York at the moment because he's reprising his role in the stage play Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. He attended the Tony Awards on Saturday as a representative, essentially, for that play, and he was given an interview for Variety. And Variety, we know, maybe like to try and use a bit of a hook into a ideological statement, so to speak. And he was also subject to this. Now, I have linked this video for you below. I highly recommend, if you would like to, you don't have to go and watch it, because Tom's body language is very interesting. So the clip starts with the interviewer asking a question, and Tom's face goes from a sort of a smile to a, oh no, here we go, here we go. And then it's his turn to answer, and he deflects it pretty quickly and brings it back to Harry Potter. He didn't even have to answer the question at all. So this is what Variety said. Tom Felton says the controversy around J.K. Rowling's political views doesn't impact him. So they're talking about X. I'm not really attuned to it. I have not seen anything bring the world together more than Potter. She's responsible for that, so I'm incredibly grateful. Fair answer, and it is a little bit longer, so I do recommend watching the video should you wish to. The question that he was asked, it was a clinch question. It was almost like a gotcha. We're going to get you because you don't have much of a presence online, so we'll try and get you with this and see what you say. And this is the question: how does the Twitterverse controversy around J.K. Rowling's views impact you at all, or impact your work in the world at all? And I think that Tom, in my opinion, and it is just that he deflected it very well. And these were the responses. So this person says, this is what privilege looks like, and we shouldn't ignore how much harm looking the other way because things don't affect us. Don't be Tom Felton. Okay, well, Lizzie, he was there for a completely different reason. He was not there to talk about gender ideology and J.K. Rowling's gender critical views. He was there to talk about the Tony Awards, being in America, and Harry Potter. So I think it would be highly unprofessional of him to drag it into the conversation. And remember, he was asked that question. He didn't even have to answer it. Uh-oh. Tom doesn't have much experience with this kind of stuff. He has stayed largely out of the public view. The truth is, bigotry hurts everyone. And this person says, a coward, just like Malfoy. This person also says, I'm not really attuned to it. In other words, they don't affect me, so I can't bring myself to care. Well, he's not really involved in social media all that much. And to be honest with you, why would someone's gender critical view affect what you are working on? It shouldn't. It really shouldn't. This person says, what would a privileged, straight, white, cis male know about the oppression faced by my trans colleagues? I don't know. He hasn't given an opinion on it. So he might know more, you just don't know. And then this person says, it's not political variety. It's actually verified science, biology. Men cannot, nor ever will be women, and women cannot, nor will ever be men. So straight up facts. If you're basing it on biology, that's correct. And they just go on to say, thank goodness someone in that franchise learned not to bite the hand that feeds him. So, yeah, he was fed that question. He was given that question. It was essentially a bit of a hook, a bit of a trap, and he deflected it and he remained diplomatic. This person says, and this is true actually, if you watch the video, you will see it, can still hear the contempt, disdain in his voice when he says Potter, just like he does in the movies. And this person says, the vast majority of people agree with J.K. Rowling, and it's only effing disgusting in people in the media and the uber elite who don't, so shut the F up. So those were the opinions on X. Some of them, not all of them. And of course, Adam Miller from the Metro also weighed in with opinions as well. Now, he updated this, but I believe that the original article used the words cop out, but maybe I've got that wrong. Anyway, this is what he has to say. Tom Felton was asked about J.K. Rowling and immediately showed his privilege. All right, let's carry on. It must be great to be Tom Felton. He's lived a fairly quiet life since the Harry Potter films wrapped up when he was 21, and he's already made his fortune. He's done plays and things like that. He's just not been in the public eye as much as the others, perhaps. Even better, as a straight white male millionaire, he heaps of privilege. Okay, I think that needs some grammar check in there, which means a lot of world's troubles are unlikely to directly impact him. Last week, it was announced he would be returning to the Harry Potter franchise, while its lead actors Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint have gone on to launch successful careers worlds away from Hogwarts. Felton will be reprising his role as Draco Malfoy in the Broadway production of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I don't think personally that Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson, those two in particular, after the things that they have said, will ever go near the Harry Potter franchise again. I don't think that they will. They, of course, are entitled to their opinions, but I think at the risk of what people will say about them, they won't touch it with a barge pole. Of course, even if Radcliffe and Watson wanted to return to the world of Harry Potter, they won't. J.K. Rowling has clearly implied she will not forgive them for standing up for trans people. A tiny minority of men and women who just want to exist with the same rights as everyone else, yet find their lives being made harder and harder every day due to voices like Rowling's. Felton was at the Tony Awards on Saturday night, his first red carpet since it was confirmed his career has come full circle, as he reprises the role that made him a household name almost 24 years ago. Whether you're a Potter fan or have any strong feelings about the trans community or not, Rowling's gender-critical campaigning has been inescapable, or at least it appeared to be, unless you're lucky enough to be Felton, who, it seems, is able to turn a blind eye. Or maybe, just maybe, throwing this wild thing out there, he chooses to agree to disagree. It could just be that, or maybe he just feels that it would be unprofessional to put his any gender ideological views that he might have into his work. I mean, he's entitled to whatever opinion he likes, but he's also got to remain professional. When asked directly whether the controversy around J.K. Rowling's divisive position on the trans community had impacted his work with the franchise, Felton responded, I can't say it does. I'm not really attuned to that. If you didn't see that as a deflection, then I question how much you're reading into it. He added, I have not seen anything bring the world together more than Potter. She's responsible for that, so I'm incredibly grateful. He's right. Very few moments or phenomena have brought the world together quite like Harry Potter did, and that would have been such a wonderful legacy for Rowling to have until she caused so much division. Well, I don't think she caused that much division. She just spoke about biological facts, and it was really all based on some tweets and her standing with Maya Forstater. And apparently that was criminal because the woman that they put on a pedestal had an opinion that they didn't agree with, and that opinion was also rooted in biology. As a member of the LGBTQ plus community and proud ally to trans people, I find Rowling's stance towards the trans community deeply hurtful as well as dangerous. Okay, fine. I don't see how it could be dangerous, but okay, that's your opinion. It would be quite difficult to prove that. I do accept that perhaps I have stronger feelings than others. I am gay man whose freedom has only been realized because of the many oppressed LGBTQ plus people who came before me, who in the not so distant past were demonized or ostracized. Still, there are those just like me around the world who are beaten and oft for being who they are today. Different countries, different cultures. I think you're very lucky, actually, in this country. I have no doubt that Felton is more attuned than he is letting on. He probably is, actually. I would agree with that. You're probably right, but he just chose to leave it out of the conversation. But still, the privilege to be able to dismiss matters that don't impact him, to turn a blind eye to an ongoing issue that is dominating the lives of a community is something that I will never understand or respect. Okay, you never know. Tom might agree with you. All right. He might agree with that. But I remain adamant that when you're there to talk about something that you are doing, that you keep the political and gender ideological views separate from that. You don't put it into the promotion of your work. It's called being professional, and he is entitled to do that. It could very well be as well that he was told to not do it. Have you ever considered that there might be something that he is bound by? But I guess you just don't. I guess people don't think like that. Anyway, I am not without my many privileges myself. I'm white, male, and middle class, but I wouldn't dream of not being attuned to feminism, racism, or poverty. That's fine. Daniel Radcliffe described his broken relationship with Rowling as really sad, but affirmed that just because she wrote the story that made him a star, it doesn't mean that you owe the things you truly believe to someone else for your entire life. You can be accepting of the fact that J.K. Rowling made you a star, and you can disagree with her opinions at the same time. You can do that. It is possible to live in a world where you can do that. He's been involved with the Trevor Project, a non-profit US organization devoted to supporting LGBTQ plus people since his early 20s. He could have, like Felton, taken his millions, worked intermittently, and lived a comfortable life. It's true, he could have done that. This person also says, I appreciate that picking a side on any issue, particularly in this gruesome age of social media, is more intimidating than it's ever been. But to see a celebrity appear to simply dismiss an important matter out out of hand is deeply unsettling, particularly from a man who is still riding on the coattails of a book that meant so much to LGBTQ plus people who felt closeted and that championed chosen family, even if it authors is arguably working against many of them now. You'll probably find that the majority of LGBTQ plus people still like to read the books. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised, but they just wouldn't want to admit it. But like I said, he's there to talk about something completely different. He's not there to talk about politics. He's being professional. I can't say I'm the biggest fan of Radcliffe, Watson, or Grint's work, but I am a fan of integrity. To say you're not attuned to one of the biggest discussions around human rights for years is a sign that you have none. Tony Awards is not a political, gender ideological stomping ground, though, is it? So I'm actually full of respect for Tom Felton. He has gone and he has shown the diplomacy that actors should show when they are promoting their work, and I fully support that. We can agree to disagree on opinions, and that is fine. Let me know what you think. Chat about it, don't shout about it. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.